Been a lot of talk about resilience nowadays, and I'm just checking all my little settings here. And the fact is that it's been a difficult time for everybody, and we are trying to figure out how to get the most out of our team while we are keeping everybody healthy and happy and focused. And so, resilience, mental toughness, mental agility has been a big keyword lately. And so, I've outlined 9 steps for resilience, 9 essential pillars that I talk about in my book, Leading the Next Normal. And I thought, since my topic for this month, so every month I have a topic that my poster around is on resilience, I wanted to talk a little bit about those 9 pillars. And so, if you have a team and you are really looking to figure out how to get them motivated again, energized again, this can help you by implementing this. And there's a lot out there about resilience. And one thing that I do is if you know anything about my background, is I founded, scaled, and sold a couple of my own software companies, and then I have a master's in psychology and a neuroscience certificate. So there's resilience. There's in sports, in the military, and all these different places. But to me, it's a bit different when you're in the office. And so everything that I do is really for the leader and the teams. And you'll see that with my content and some of the. Maybe I'll throw in a story or an antidote or something to so you get to know that. So here are my 9 key factors. And the number one, and sometimes people sort of snicker when I say this, is learn from every setback. And find the silver lining, etc. And this can sound very trite and cliche, but it's very, very important, because to me, great leaders, what they do is they have this positivity and this optimism, and they do take everything as a learning opportunity. And when you talk about creating your culture, it's so important that you, as the leader, when things happen, when things happen that may not be perfect or the way you wanted them to, or the way people were expecting, is to really look at that through the lens of what can we learn from this. There's a book by Carol Dweck called Mindset, which talks about this, and she talks about the difference between people that are highly successful and that aren't. Are the people that when something happens that doesn't go their way, they automatically pivot to figure out what they can learn from this, what they could do differently next time. And so you, as the leader, really need to go and figure that out and have that mindset of every little thing that happens. And it's a real game changer. The second one is focus on the positives and celebrate every win. I realized that when I was running my management meetings, we would often focus on problems, problems, problems. Now, what if you, and so I just want you to reflect, like if you have a half an hour or an hourly meeting with a different department, how often are you just focused on problem, problem, problem? Well, no wonder people are losing their focus and they're not energized. People want to work for a winning team. And so it's important that you celebrate the victories and you bring them up and you have people talk about things that they did well. Say you had a great sale or a great project. Why not have the person walk through what they did so other people can learn best practices, they can brag a bit, and everybody can have a little bit of fun. Third is keep your eye on the goal. There's often when a company will be achieving what they want to achieve globally or holistically, yet everybody's worried about this problem or this problem. If your revenue is 20% growth and you're at 22% growth, who cares if you lost that one prospect, or who cares if so and such and such happens? So by keeping your eye on the goal, when you're achieving the main goal, that should be what you're celebrating. Don't get off track by all the little things that can take you off track. Fourth is laugh it off, and humor can be a good. You have to use humor in the right way and at the right time, but when certain things happen, if you can bring a bit of levity or some sort of who cares type of thing, or make a joke at the right time, that can let off a lot of steam, because they're seeing your team's seeing that you're not taking it so seriously. Your team wants to do proud by you almost all the time. Everybody in your team really wants to show up well for their boss, who might be you, or your boss's boss, or have pride in the organization, in the team, in the organization. And so bringing a bit of humor and levity can take some of that pressure off. Number 5 is grieve and then move on. Look, if something gets screwed up, it's okay to to really just think about it for a day and to not just jump back on things. It's okay to grieve. If you lose a huge prospect, if a company, if a project really screws up, etc., whatever it is, it's okay to take like a day and be a little bit down, because that almost feels natural. As human beings, we're meant to grieve. So it's okay to say, hey, I'm going to take the rest of the day off, or I need a couple of days off to regroup and then come back strong. It's okay to do that. And it's okay for your team to do that too. If you have a teammate that's struggling because of that, tell them to go, just take a day or two off. And it's not, they're not being punished, but they just are, it's really to regroup. And it's important that they go in understanding that. Number 6 is remind yourself of your own success stories. So 6, we're on 6 here. Remind yourself of your own success stories. So if it's you need some resilience, or it's somebody else, chances are you've done an amazing, you've had an amazing career. You've done amazing things in your career. So by telling yourself those own success stories and really bringing them out and reminding yourself of them, then you realize whatever you're going through that you really got. Get a pep talk, and maybe this is the American in me talking. Number 7 is get a pep talk, and maybe this is the American in me coming. But if you have a real friend that's optimistic, who really has your back, you can always call them to give you a pep talk. Same with your team. Maybe you need to bring somebody else in, a fresh voice. This is why I do keynote speaking and I work with teams, because sometimes you need a fresh voice to come in and give fresh energy. And so, so a little bit of motivation and inspiration can work. You don't want to do that all the time, but in the right time, that can really get people, give a great boost as a very good short-term boost. Now, when it comes to do this exercise, now exercise and health and nutrition, etc., it really has a lot to do with your resilience. And so, whether it's sleep, whether it's exercise, whether it's nutrition, really taking care of yourself can get you to the next place as far as resilience and focus and mental agility. And then number 9 is take a break. Make sure that you and your team are taking their holidays. I think now that it's summer, it's coming along, but a month or two ago, I talked to a lot of leaders, and they were having to force their people to take a break. Regular breaks are essential to us. That's why we have weekends off. And so if you have people, to be proactive, to have people not burn out and such, make sure that they are out there taking their breaks and getting away from work a little bit. And maybe that is even helping people disconnect from work in the evenings, etc. All right, everybody, that's a really quick blast of the 9 essential pillars for resilient and agile teams. Hopefully this helps you. Again, remember, this is a difficult time for leaders, so do whatever you need to do that to really give yourself the tools and skill and the support that you need so you can be strong for your team. All right, everybody, this is Michael. I will catch you around. Bye-bye.